Welcome everyone to Celtic to a deep look into the paranormal podcast. I almost said my gamer tag. Uh, it is the 18th of August, and we are going to openly discuss Frankenstein's castle. And hearing that name, what do you think about that, David?
I was honestly at first, I didn't know if it was a real place or if it was fictitious.
It is definitely, most definitely, a real, legitimate place. Um, and as a matter of fact, let's take a look. What do you think?
I'm not seeing the picture.
Okay, let me do it this way for you. Try looking at it that way.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Yes. In Germany, where it is located, I do have the address for, but I don't want to butcher the name. So I'm gonna refrain from saying it because I'm just gonna butcher the heck out of it, and I don't want to be insulting in any way. Um, but in Germany, they actually call this not castle, Frankenstein's castle. They call it Burg Frankenstein or Frankenstein. They call it Burg
Okay.
instead of castle.
Okay.
It is a Romanic, I want to say almost romantic. It's romantic, romantic, I guess you could say, inspired Gothic style architecture that sits on top of a hill in the looks like Odenwald mountain range, overlooking the city of looks like Darmstadt, Germany.
Cool.
That's not the city or where it's actually located. Just like they're just overlooking that area. Uh,
Oh, okay. Well,
hmm.
good to know.
Yep. The founder and builder, or the one who basically funded the building of this monument, or not monument, landmark, I should say, is Lord Conrad II Rise of Breuberg. Breuberg. After it was completed around
Uh,
1250, it renamed himself von Unser zu Frankenstein. VON space UND space ZU Frankenstein. The name comes from a
I
Yes?
go ahead. I was gonna say I love the name, but I don't understand it.
Okay. The name comes from the tribal term of Franks and Stein meaning stone. So
Hmm.
stone of the Franks means Frankenstein.
Cool.
Yep, I think so. Lord Conrad, outside of his decision to create the castle or Burg Frankenstein, was known for establishing regional power and sovereignty rights across Hesse, Darmstadt, and it looks like Wetterau. Wetterau.
I wish I could help you with the pronunciations, but unfortunately, German is not one of
A
my
lot of
fortes.
these places that we're going to be talking about, I'm going to have to spell it out and pronounce it as best as I can.
I
Um,
appreciate that.
in 1252 was the first documented recording bearing his self-appointed Frankenstein name. So that was the first recorded document where he actually wrote his name as Frankenstein or Steen. 1292, the Frankenstein family opened the castle under the form of an alliance with the counts. Oh, good lord. C or not C. I'm sorry. Katzenelnbogen. It's like
Okay.
Katzenelbogen. I am so sorry. um, by 1336, the Berg Frankenstein was split into two parts and owned by two different family knights and lords. But because they lived there, there was also they also bore the name Frankenstein or Stein.
So it's two separate families with the same name?
Yeah, because the castle itself was at this point was split into two, like two different
Interesting.
parts. Um, in 1673, an intellectual by the name of Johann Conrad Dippel was born at the Berg Frankenstein. A lot of people, because he lived there, he was born there, raised there, lived there, they thought he bore the name, or a lot of people think he bears the name Frankenstein. Okay?
Okay.
But he doesn't. He never took the name Frankenstein.
Interesting.
hmm What do you think of the castle and its history so far?
I'm learning a lot of things and where like the words come from. I didn't know Berg meant like castle, and I didn't know Stein meant stone. So
Well,
I'm enjoying
part
this.
of
I'm
it,
liking the history of it
Stein,
so far.
yeah, Stein means stone, and uh, it's like basically two meanings of two different things were put together. But yeah,
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
um, around 1700, Dipple began dabbling in alchemy and crafted what he called the elixir of life, known as Dipple oil. Became renowned
I
for
did not see that coming.
yeah. So already with alchemy, you're mixing, you know, one part this, one part that type of scenario. So you're meddling with different chemicals, different properties, and seeing what it creates, right?
Right.
So Lord knows what he was actually dabbling in regards to whenever he was crafting and mixing. But he became renowned and infamous roughly at the same time the further into the sciences he delved. He even attempted to buy the castle and the rights with the rights of his elixir, but unfortunately was unable to do so. They basically flat out told him, "You're insane. You're not getting this. You're not getting the castle." Um, Eventually, he began dabbling in electricity and autonomy in addition to alchemy. And he actually began, this is where things get interesting. He began dabbling, or not dabbling, but um, like he'd exhume bodies just to experiment on them.
Oh, grave robbing. Okay.
Yep. He wanted to see how the stuff would affect, or electricity would affect things, or what it would do, how human tissue would respond. Um, but knowing that is a picture starting to form in your mind about this individual.
He's fitting what I would call a modern day trope. So yeah, I'm starting to
Yeah,
see
but
the
I'm
picture
talking
of it.
about a fictional character.
Yes, yes. I think I see his inspiration,
Okay.
or was that
The
him? Maybe.
yeah. A local cleric began raising alarms against Dipple, warning his parish against the things Dipple was doing and the horrific experiments he was conducting. Some locals, even to this day, believe what he did truly did happen. This stuff was actually
So
legitimately happening.
yeah, no, I understand. I can see where we also get science bad.
Yes. Dipple's sanity was seriously questioned as a negative light as and was cast upon Berg Frankenstein. So basically, they're like, okay, I'm sorry, um, like it was bringing a negative light to the overall castle. People started looking at it as a bad place, like
He brought down the
evil.
property value.
In modern day times, yeah, that would have brought down property values more than likely. Um, Dipple did die of a stroke at the age of 60, but many believe that when he passed in 1734, that he was actually poisoned. He didn't suffer a stroke.
Okay. So maybe something was nefarious about it?
Potentially, yes. Not too long after the castle was used as a refuge and a hospital to paint a better light over the darkness Dipple had enshrouded upon it. Eventually, the castle fell into ruins through, though currently is undergoing renovations set to end in 2028.
Oh, wow. That's neat. I'm glad it's still getting renovated.
It, parts of it are salvageable. There are parts that are not.
Is it still functioning as a hospital, though?
No,
Okay.
it's more like tours and things of that nature, like a more of a museum. I believe there might be a restaurant on site somewhere, from what I was reading. Um, but enough of that portion. We'll actually come back to that in a little bit. Let's go on to um, another notable figure. Dipple isn't really as well known as this person. Um, you'll know her by her name as Mary Shelley.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very well known author.
Yes, a strong-willed, opinionated, and intelligent woman of her time. She was very progressive. She apparently
Yeah.
took,
What was the year again?
huh?
What was the year she was writing this?
If you let me continue,
Oh, I'm sorry.
it's okay.
I got excited.
It's okay. She took a trip in 1814 and was on the way back to England when when her and her husband traveled near the Rhine River, making a stop in looks like Gernsham. It's Gernshheim, roughly 10 miles away um, from the castle, and could still be seen at a distance. Her husband, his name is Percy. It looks like Byzie Shelley. He was also a very passionate man of the sciences. Um,
Interesting.
she actually never visited the castle. She never visited Berg
Really?
Frankenstein. Nope. She never stepped foot once on the property.
That is amazing to me.
She heard of the castle and Dipple's actions and behaviors through hearsay from the locals in the area. Um, okay. This next part. No, I'll skip over that part and I'll come back to that because then you'll understand why I said it. Um, during a lengthy stay at a mutual friend of her and her husband's during some bad weather, Mary Shelley and her husband and a few others stayed with a man known as Lord Byron. Percy and Byron often talked.
Really?
Hum?
Really, Lord Byron? That
Yeah,
Lord Byron?
says
Oh,
Lord
wow.
Byron. They talked of and discussed sciences and the use of electricity. He, Lord Byron, could also see that his guests were getting bored, so he challenged them all to write a horror story.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Uh, she, here's where I'm going to go back to the one thing here in just a second after I read this part. She claims her story Frankenstein or the modern Prometheus was inspired by a nightmare she had and conversations she overheard between her husband and Lord Byron. She claims she was never influenced by Dipple in the slightest.
Okay,
That's a bunch of horse
that's
shit.
in the realm. It's in the realm of possibility, but highly unlikely.
come on, she named it after the castle for one thing.
Yeah, that's the dead giveaway. It's not
And
like it was.
so she lied. She lied about it because she's sitting here basically saying that she took no inspiration but recounts basically almost in detail, not full detail, but almost in detail of what Dipple did from the exhuming of bodies, the experimentation, the use of electricity. I can understand having some of what her husband, Percy, and Lord Byron had said also incorporated into it, but a great majority was it from the hearsay from what she heard from the locals. And
Now,
she didn't give credit where credit was due.
okay, was this just her way of trying to avoid any legal repercussions by saying it wasn't inspired by, even though it's obviously intertwined?
There's a possibility. I honestly don't know. I tried looking into it and I couldn't, other than the fact that she didn't, she claims there was no correlation.
Okay,
And I'm like,
so
that's, that's,
that's malarkey.
yeah. Um, that's why I asked why the name Frankenstein, then why detailed explanation of Dr. Frankenstein's behaviors that mimic Dipple's if he hadn't.
Yeah, that's way too close to what happened.
Yeah. It's, I'm like, so if she was lying about that, what else has she been lying about?
No, I completely agree with you. Did you
It
check and see if
discredits her a bit. What?
did Dipple have any descendants?
No.
Okay, because I was thinking
Not
maybe it was a
that I've
family
found, and
member.
I've been through several sites.
Okay. No,
But
I know you do a lot of research into this. I take your word
yeah.
for it.
Next up on this is some of the legends and myths surrounding Castle Frankenstein. Okay, maybe you've heard of this one, Lord George and the Dragon.
Yes, I have. It's one of my favorite stories.
Yep. For those of you who don't know, it's a tale of a dangerous dragon that lived near the castle's garden. The two fought for hours before landing lethal blows to each other at the same time. Some
I've
stories
read
painted
a.
out where George actually was victorious and survived, but the actual myth or the myth and legend around it is they actually slew each other.
Big surprise. I'm a big fantasy nerd. I love fantasy stories.
Hmm.
There is a story where, from the dragon's perspectives, we are not humans. They've named us after the first interaction they had with one of our species. We are the George.
Yes, that is true. I remember that. All right. The next myth and legend is the Fountain of Youth.
No.
Yes. Believed
Okay,
to be
I
hidden.
got this one.
Yes. Believed to be hidden deep within the castle's herb garden, is used as a sacred site for witchcraft in Germany, second to none to the Mount Bracken in Hars. Or Hars? It is believed that old women would traditionally come to find the fountain. If successful, they would be rejuvenated. Not clear if the practice is still um, if it's still practiced today or not. More than likely not, but there's still a possibility out there.
I wonder if that ties into Dipple as well too, in his elixir of life.
Who knows? Maybe. But you got to think about what chemicals and ingredients back then were accessible that aren't as accessible now,
That's a great question. I
especially ones
honestly
that might
always kind of
cause madness.
lead, mercury,
Yeah,
nightshade.
there's different things. There's
Very
also
true.
gold rush. Fortune tellers often were rumored to scam desperate people with tales of Berg Frankenstein housing somewhere on property, but that Berg Frankenstein housed somewhere on property or nearby uh, a uh, a treasure. Those seeking the validation began digging all over, but to no avail. By 1788, and after a couple of dig site deaths, local authorities banned treasure hunting and digging in the area.
Now, I, I want to do research, but I don't know if you've done it already. Now. Is there also any legends about the Philosopher's Stone being here? Because it sounds very with the
There's a
alchemy, the
possibility
elixir of life.
somewhere,
Okay, okay.
but
Sorry, I'm excited. I'm enjoying this.
I'm glad you are. I hope everyone else is too. The magnetic phenomena. The force behind the castle, roughly 417 meters high, is a natural magnetic rock formation. It's also another sacred witchcraft site. Most equipment does not work there.
Okay. Um, I think you're going to answer this already, but
hmm
what kind of paranormal things we have reported here?
I'm glad you asked, because the next section is ghost hunting.
Yay! I would.
Yes.
She has not shared this with me, guys.
No, I have not. I've wanted to talk to him about it so bad, but I want his genuine reaction. So, um, and well, ghost hunting. A lot of people have reported at this location hearing disembodied voices. Rocks are being thrown at visitors. Full body apparitions. Um, it's gained international attention for paranormal activity in 2008 thanks to Ghost Hunters International.
Oh, I didn't know
hmm
they'd been there.
Yes. Frankenstein's Castle is not a commercial or tourist destination, but is often set and sought out by many visitors.
I
Um,
I want to go look up that episode.
there is a Ghost of Berg Frankenstein. There is one called Night Arbogast, Arbogast.
I think Arbogast. Yeah.
Believed to be a cursed knight that walks the grounds of the castle, but is heard moreover through EVPs, which is electric voice phenomenon.
I wonder if this is the inspiration. If that night is the inspiration for a certain encounter in Curse of Strahd.
Who knows? Maybe it could for D&D fans out there. It very well could be. I mean, the name for Argon Vosholt and that,
Yeah.
yes. Um, there's also we're going to go back to Johann Conrad Dippel. He's also seen. This is the reason why I'm asking about the things that cause madness. I mean, he dealt with different kinds of chemicals, mixing of
hmm
ingredients, and things of that nature, okay? Keep that in mind now. He is believed to haunt the castle, occasionally howling in madness. Believed to be seen standing on top of the chapel roof by many.
Yeah, that sounds like mercury poisoning. Like
Mm-hmm.
Mad as a Hatter.
Yes. A woman in white seen wandering the grounds by those that see her before erupting into a crying fit and vanishing. Famous boxer Randolph Turpin had seen her while training in the area.
Okay.
Yep. Um, one second here. Let me see. But some of the haunts also is like there's one particular area. I, I'm trying to remember where it's at, but in the castle, people, tourists have walked past it, and they've had like rocks or pebbles thrown at them. And when they look up to see where it came from, there's no one there.
Is it like angry ones or like little rocks to torment people?
I think it's not like big rocks. It's more like just small stones and pebbles.
Okay, so like something trying to get your attention or say, "Hey."
Yeah, or say leaf.
Yeah.
Um, some of the events that happen here, uh, a lot of people actually seek this place out for weddings. Weddings for civil arrangements are conducted by the chapel still and run by local municipalities. There are
Was
annual.
that priest that
Huh?
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sorry. The priest we mentioned earlier, was he on site as well too for that chapel?
I
Or was
don't
he from
know.
the town?
He was from the town
Okay,
as far as I knew. But
okay.
he could have also been working at that chapel as well. Annual Halloween parties are also held at the castle.
Yeah,
Large
that would be
gatherings.
awesome.
Yeah. Tours are self-arrive and parking admissions are generally free. Guided tours do have a cost depending on the agency giving them, and it is open
Hmm.
daily from approximately 8 a.m. to dusk.
Okay.
Hmm. So let's take a look here. Let's take a look. See, here's a section of the castle. That's going to take a lot to shore up, to make sure it is structurally sound before they can even attempt to rebuild anything there or hope of salvaging anything.
I was gonna say that's gonna take a lot of scaffolding.
A lot of time, and I mean, it would be
Sp-
nice to see, but given how already dilapidated and decayed it is, it might not. Here's another section.
Oh, that'd be beautiful to walk through, but yeah, fixing. Ooh,
Yeah,
that's rough.
very true.
Did it have a fire?
It may have at one point. Here is the chapel, or
That is
inside the
quaint,
chapel.
and I can understand why you'd want to get married there.
Yep,
That is adorable.
it's pretty cool. It's pretty neat. Here's an outside shot of the chapel.
It looks bigger on the outside.
Yes, it does. It does look very cramped on the inside, but people seek it out to have weddings.
I I
Here's a
understand. I see the appeal.
little nook area where looking out one of the windows.
Okay, I can definitely see that being restored there because that's at least got a roof.
Yeah, or come down inside, or come down from the outside and inside into inside. But
Oh, you're starting to see the more,
what?
starting to see the prettier parts of it. The
Well,
stonework is nice.
we got also think about it. There's really not that much electricity through the area. You've got a lot of weather, environmental damage, but
Hmm.
with that being said, you've got a lot of shadow. So a lot of the stuff may be a simple play of the light or a figment of your imagination. I'm not saying the stuff doesn't happen by any means, because every place, I'm a firm believer that there are ghosts out there. You know, those
Hmm.
kind of things out there, because I've had my own personal paranormal experiences. So the possibility is still there, but I can also see it from a skeptic's point of view as well.
Do we know how much the castle is affected by that giant magnet?
Just that area surrounding that's up like 417 meters high behind it.
Okay, I was just kind of curious because I know we've talked previously in previous seasons about things called a fear cage,
Yes, yes.
and I was just wondering if
Those who
that
are
would
hypersensitive to
cause that.
those
Yeah,
the EMF fields.
yeah.
Yep. It is that is also a thing that very well could be, you know. Um, but there is, like I said, there is still that possibility that there could be something present, something going on, because with so many sightings, so many reports of what's going, the happenings there, it far exceeds a lot of the abilities to debunk it, if that makes sense.
Right. I fully understand the skeptic's point of view here because there's a lot of pre pre assumption
Yes.
that this would be a spooky place. But if you can't, just because you think it might be spooky and it is spooky, doesn't mean it's not actually spooky. I mean, it's. I'm trying to think of the best way to say that. It's.
It's like it could be haunted, but it might not be. It might just be an overactive imagination, trick of the lights, electromagnetic fields. It could be a number of things conflicting with the area. But when you can not explain what you just saw, what you just heard, and if you're with somebody and they heard it too or saw it too,
Hmm.
one person, yeah, you can kind of just that's probably their imagination.
Or
But
overactive imagination, yeah.
when it's more than one to two people,
Or especially if you caught it on a device.
yes, like cameras, IR cameras, night vision, EVPs, spirit box. Here is one of the semi-restored areas.
Oh, that would give me vertigo to go down.
Yeah, that's actually going up.
Yeah, I can't. It looks.
I
It looks like
understand.
it goes both ways to me. Okay.
Yeah, that's going up. This is a picture of what Dipple looked like.
See, he had nice hair. It wasn't all crazy like. So that we know that she took that from her own perspective, the electrified hair.
Hmm. This is Mary Shelley.
Oh, she is not what I expected.
Yeah, this is her husband Percy Shelley.
That that looks like a Percy to me.
Here's another shot of Castle Frankenstein or Frankenstein.
Okay, I would love to get a picture in front of that.
Yeah. So, with everything you've heard and seen today, what are your thoughts on the castle?
I honestly think it's a great tourist destination.
It is, but it's not a
Just for
commercial one. It's
I
not
know it
even
surprises me.
publicized or commercially drawn in as a tourist destination. People just go there seeking it out.
And honestly, that's the kind of lore that you can't even pay for. People looking for Castle Frankenstein. It exists. We've got to go there. So they're.
But there's a number of
I
people out
mean,
there who don't believe that it's real, that it's not a
yeah.
real place, but it is.
I'll be honest. I was one of those people. I thought it was just fictional,
No, that's
or it was
not.
like this is the actual Castle Frankenstein. You know how there's 4 or 5 castles of Dracula.
Yes.
That's the. I thought it was maybe like that kind of situation where this is the place it inspired, but she says it. No, it wasn't.
Yeah,
It's no
it paints
name.
Mary Shelley in a very different light for me.
Yeah, I still
I
think she was well ahead of her time,
She was, and
but
she was
I
talented,
also
but she was not a person who give credit where credit was due, or you know, she didn't acknowledge, or maybe it was like a guilt, not so much a guilty pleasure, but knowing where she took it from, she didn't want people trying to associate her with that crazy.
possibly.
Who knows?
So yeah, wow.
Mhm.
Then Frankenstein's a better name than Dipple.
Yeah, it's
Dipple's
DIPP.
monster.
Yeah, DIPP like EL or LE. But all right, we will at this time open up the floor to anyone who wants to ask questions or talk to us while we chit chat about the episode. I do know that our next. Whoop, hold on one second. Our next one is
Oh,
the ghost town of Avila, Missouri.
oh, Balaam, Missouri.
Yeah, A
I've
V
never heard
I
of it.
L A. Well, it's definitely got a famous street attached to it.
Okay, now I'm curious, but I'm holding back. That's for next time.
Oh, we
For
can tell them about it. We
okay,
don't we're not talking about the details other than the street's name.
is it Elm?
No, it's not Elm.
Okay.
It's Route 66 or Route 66.
Oh, right. Okay. You mentioned Route 66 to me before, but I
Yeah.
didn't tie that name in with it. Okay.
Yep. But that's all we'll say about it. Is there
But
anything else
as
that you
for
found interesting about this episode? Or we see if anyone would like to ask questions?
I very much liked just learning about this place. It has all the perfect building blocks for a scary story. It's got alchemy, it's got witchcraft, it's got intertwined destinies and legacies and family names that aren't taken. It's a really compelling story. I understand why she took from it, but
Right?
she should just gave credit where credit was due. It's like because could you imagine how scary Frankenstein would be if it was inspired by a true story was tagged on that sucker?
Yeah. And knowing that it actually potentially was in the process of becoming real. He never got to that. He never got to that point where he was able to actually reanimate life, but he certainly darn well tried.
Yeah. And I know we've mentioned Mercury a lot, and one of the reasons why we've done that, and I I think you know about this as well too, but mercury itself is a preservative for bodies. They used to use it all the time to make sure the body wouldn't rot, especially in places where the ground froze.
So it
You've
wasn't
heard of
like
embalming?
formaldehyde and stuff.
No, not in the past. There's still like tombs of pharaohs where they were like submerged in mercury to preserve the body for the afterlife.
They must
And
have had access to a ton of that stuff.
yeah, in the past, it's like I guess there's a lot more mercury than there was today in this day and age, or at least we regulate it better now.
Yeah, that's true.
But no, mercury's been used from Egypt to South America ziggurats. Um, if you ever want to look up where a strange place to find mercury, look up the Red Tomb and the Red Lady because you can find trace amounts of mercury in cinnamon, and they use that to preserve her. So
Oh
if he's
well.
digging up a body and it was preserved with mercury of even in small amounts, he's getting putting himself in especially if he's cutting them up to try and put them back together again. Because rubber gloves were not a thing back then.
No, they weren't. But all right, definitely, we welcome everyone and anyone into, you know, partake in chat, talking to us, even during the podcast itself. Um, you know, the more interaction we get, the better. Um, because that lets us know that you are interested. It helps the channel out greatly. Um, you can always comment on the videos later, by all means. We do have a Facebook group, which will be in the description, along with the YouTube channel. And if you're ever interested, we do have a Discord as well to talk more about the paranormal, supernatural, cryptid, aliens, otherworldly, unknown, mysterious, things of that nature. So definitely feel free to, like I said, join chat, talk to us, ask away, bring up your personal experiences with the paranormal if you'd like, or otherworldly, what have you. We'd be interested in, talking and communicating. Though
And
until,
if you think we got something wrong, let us know. Show us your cite it for us. We'll definitely go back and revisit some of these places.
Yeah. Um, definitely, if you do call us out on something, definitely let us know where the site is or where you found that. Because I have been cataloging the sites I'm going to as well. Because if I miss
Yeah.
something up, I like to know because I'd like to know, have the truth out there, not fiction.
Uh, Jennifer is very good about citing her sources and finding this information. So if we're
Yeah.
using incorrect information, just tell her. She will gladly go look it up and verify it herself, and she'll tell me immediately.
Yep. Until next time, though, please do take care of yourselves out there. We, you know, enjoy having you with us. We appreciate you. This is Jennifer and David Wills with a deep look into the paranormal podcast where mystery meets insight. Bye bye.
Take care, everyone.